Yo, what's going on YouTube, and welcome back to another Everything We Know video, and today I am going to be talking about Assassin's Creed Unity. Assassin's Creed Unity is the first truly next generation entry into the Assassin's Creed series and promises to introduce more than just a graphical overhaul. So what can we expect to see in Unity? First up, let's talk about what I believe to be one of the most exciting new features in Unity, co-op gameplay. Unity features seamless 2 to 4 player co-op, allowing you and your friends to take on missions together. Co-op isn't just confined to a selection of missions either, it's fully supported in the open world, so for the first time you can really and truly feel like you are part of a creed. While the co-op missions can still be completed solo, there are incentives to replay them co-op, as enemies will randomise, alternate their paths, and given the various tactical options that will be available to you, there will also be new challenges, encounters and rewards. When playing the co-op missions, each player plays as Arno, the main character, but what you're actually doing is reliving a memory of Arno performing a Brotherhood mission. So from each player's perspective, they are Arno, but all items and customization that they've acquired will be visible to all, so you won't just be walking around in 4 identikit gear sets. All co-op missions are optional, and as I said, they can be completed solo, but obviously taking them on alone will be that much more challenging, as these particular missions are designed to be played with friends. As it stands, there will be at least 11 Brotherhood missions or co-op missions, each of which will typically range from about 30 to 40 minutes in length. Next up, let's take a look at combat. The new combat system is based on skill, timing and flow. Enemies are both smarter and tougher, which means button mashing when in a large crowd is no longer going to be a viable option. Also, those instant one button counter kills are gone, so again, dispatching a large group of enemies with one hit kills is also not an option. You're really going to have to think this time. Your new hidden blade, now known as the Phantom Blade, can also fire projectiles. It has 2 main modes, the instant kill bolt and the Berserker bolt, which behaves somewhat like the Berserker dart in AC4. New combat moves include parry, dodge, tackle and heavy attack. And there will be a skill tree dedicated to combat, so you can be sure that you're going to have a range of ways to improve these newfound skills. Some of the weapons confirmed so far are spears, axes, swords, pistols, muskets, and obviously your Phantom Blade. Now, following on from combat, let's talk about stealth. The stealth system has also had a complete overhaul. There is now a dedicated stealth mode where, at the press of a button, you can crouch, move slower, and are harder to detect and can cover against objects. This is something I am really glad they've introduced, because in all the Assassin's Creed games I've played, as much as I love them, I've never really felt, particularly stealthy. For an assassin, you should kind of be sneaking around, but this should be good. When evading your pursuers, you will also want to make sure you break line of sight, as they will search for you at your last known position, kind of like how it works in Splinter Cell. So instead of them just sort of chasing you randomly, you will then obviously be able to give them the slip and just sort of duck behind things and obviously hide and go from there. In addition to all of this, there is also a new disguise skill which will help you blend into certain situations. Now let's talk customization. If you've played any Assassin's Creed game before, then you shouldn't be a stranger to customization, but in Unity you have even more options. As you complete missions, you'll earn skill points, which you can spend to upgrade your various skills. Unity includes different skill trees for stealth, combat and navigation, but it's up to you how you decide to spend those points. Any skills and gear you acquire in single player will be fully accessible in co-op missions, so you can really shine among your friends. And for the first time ever, Assassin gear will have special properties as opposed to just being a cosmetic option. For example, a hood that lets players disappear into crowds faster. There are a massive amount of customization options for your robes. You can mix and match hoods, top and lower body, boots. You can even opt to lose the iconic assassin coattails, and you can even tweak the texture and patterns on your robes, so you can really make your character your own. Now, we've spoken a lot about combat and what you as an assassin will be doing, but let's talk about the setting. The game is set in Paris, and this world promises to be the biggest one yet. Some of the buildings in Paris, including historic monuments like Notre Dame, are said to be a 1-to-1 scale, and the city of Paris itself is about the size of the frontier in Assassin's Creed 3. If you look at this map of Paris, alongside this Unity map of Paris, you can get an idea of just how detailed they're going. This is going to be huge. You can explore the sewers and the famous catacombs of Paris seamlessly with no loading screens. There are also solvable murders spread throughout the city, which will give you something else to do outside the main campaign. In Unity, you will have an equivalent to the Villa from AC2 or the Homestead from AC3, only this time it's known as the Cafe Theatre. Each district will have its own cafe, which, once purchased, will unlock new missions. So we know it's set in Paris, but what about the actual story? You play as a chap named Arno, and he grew up in, apologies in advance for my terrible pronunciation, but a place called Versailles. Arno has French and Austrian heritage and joins the Assassins in 1789. There are two main categories of missions, adaptive and black box. Adaptive missions can change depending on what you are doing during a mission. For example, if you're caught during a tailing sequence, it becomes a chase. Or if you lose your target, then it turns into a locate mission, which I think is a really nice change, because if you think back to previous games where if you lose your target you fail the quest, at least this way you now have options. You know, irrespective of what happens, you can always kind of recover it, just means it's going to change the flow of things. Then black box missions give you an area to explore, and while in this area you have to create your own opportunities and kill your target. All missions can be replayed and completed in different ways. Also, a new social feature means that when you accept a mission, you not only see how difficult it is with a star rating, but you can also see what friends are currently playing it and whether it is a co-op mission or not. So with all that laid out, what else has changed in the Assassin's Creed formula? Well, there will be dynamic events in the world where you can participate in fights or chase thieves who are trying to escape, which doesn't sound too dissimilar to what we've seen in previous games, but in addition to this, there is a new high ground feature which allows you to see all the gameplay opportunities in the near vicinity just by being up high. So now all you need to do is climb a tower and then really scope out your surroundings. Additionally, and this is something I'm happy about, there will no longer be guards patrolling the rooftops. Finally! I always thought that some of the places they patrolled were a little bit odd, and now it better reinforces the fact that the rooftops are really your playground, and this is where you should remain. The automatic day-night cycle has been removed, so I imagine now that it will change at strategic points in the story. 1/4 of all buildings are also enterable seamlessly with no loading screens, and the parkour system has been overhauled, so you can now parkour up and down stuff, whereas before you always used to just drop off things. Simply by pressing a different button, you parkour in a different direction. And there you have it. That is currently everything we know about Assassin's Creed Unity, launching on October the 28th of this year. I'd love to know what you guys think about the changes in the series. Drop a comment down below and let me know what you are most excited for in Unity. As always, don't forget to give the video a thumbs up and hit the like button. Show your support, it does really help us out, and obviously don't forget to subscribe for daily gaming videos. Thanks again for watching, take it easy, catch you next time, peace out.